Looks good, man. I know you're busy, man. I've been watching a lot of the shit you've been doing, man. It's been like what? It's been a long, like the longest camp. Has this been the longest camp of your career?
Yeah, I well, it's been a long camp, but no, it's been pretty much enough as enough time as we needed, um, just to put our best foot forward. So yeah, I've been on the grind pretty much since my last fight. I knew this was coming, so it was just like just stay ready.
That's right, man. Let's talk about what has led you to your last fight, this interim title fight that you're heading into. You know, three fights, some action packed performances, man. First one was the comeback against Bonterin. The second one was the knockout of Garbrandt, and the last one was the title shot winning performance against Askerov. Which fight was the most satisfying for you?
Yeah, both had their I guess special moments and the reasons behind it. You know, that Bonterin fight was me coming off a loss and I guess facing my fears and just getting back in there and running it back and believing in myself. So that was a big, I guess, confidence booster for me, knowing that I can weather storms, I can hang in there with the best guys, jiu-jitsu black belts, and put them out. Um, so yeah, that was a massive confidence booster for me. And then just using that momentum, fighting Cody Garbrandt, a former world champion. Didn't have my coach there; he had to go home. All I had was Dan, which I'm in good hands. Frank Hickman, and then my nutritionist Geordie. That's all we had. So we didn't have any normal coaches or teammates there, and just had to go in there and back myself. And biggest stage, last pay per view for the year, and passed the test with flying colours. Took him out the first round. So another confidence booster. And then fighting uh, Askerov, the number 2 ranked guy, a guy that's never lost before, and a guy that everyone was saying he deserves the next title shot. So the date of the fight ended up actually being on my birthday, my 29th birthday. The lead up to that fight, I got a staph infection on my elbow. I was waiting at the emergency room for about 4 hours. That same day, I was flying just so I could get antibiotics. Um, and then I got on a 30-hour flight. So luckily, I got antibiotics, got on a 30-hour flight, or transit flight. And then I just keep telling myself, it's all temporary, it's all going to work out. And it did. Fight week felt good. I started recovering. The staph was healing. My weight was still coming down. And then fight night came, and yeah, I just felt no pressure. I was just like, I've come all the way here. Um, this is my ticket to a title, and I'm just gonna take it to this guy. I don't care what he brings to the table, how many wins he has in a row. It doesn't matter. And you saw that momentum shift in that first round when he had his best position on my back, trying to get the finish, and he couldn't. And then the second round, it was all me, feeling the crowd's energy. Everyone getting behind me, and then nearly finishing him in that second round. And then yeah, third round was enough to give me the win. So it all paid off. That risk, fighting a guy that's high up there, a guy that no one wanted to fight. Everyone in that top 5 got offered that fight. No one wanted to take it, and that's what that's why I got rewarded this title fight, because I was the one that went out there and I didn't just sit on a win against a former world champion. I went out there and showed why I'm the best guy and should be the next guy in line for the title. So a few weeks later, Mick messaged my manager, Ash and Eugene, and said, Figueroa's out. We're not going with this fourth fight. We're going with Kai and Brandon for the interim if Kai wants it. And hands down, this is everything we work towards. So, yeah, it's cool how it's all worked out. And here we are now, I guess a week and a half out from pretty much working all my life towards this one goal, which is to become a world champion. So, man, I've been focused. I was ready to go a few weeks ago. So now it's just about peaking at the right time. And yeah, all the work's pretty much done. I've just got one session left of everything. And then we fly out this Sunday. So I feel good. And yeah, I'm just ready to put on a show.
All right, let's talk about Brandon Moreno, former UFC flyweight champion. You have spent some time with him inside that cage. When you break him down, what fighter do you see?
Yeah, Brandon's definitely one of the best guys in the world. And it's not just his skill set and his technique. It's his mindset. He's believed in himself right from the start. 16 seed in the Ultimate Fighter, got released from the UFC, and then fought his way back into the UFC, and then ended up becoming the world champion. So I know we're cut from the same cloth, which is driven by family, driven by trying to better their lives, better your life, and he's just got that fire in him. And I'm just a different guy since the last time we fought. We fought back in 2019. He's gone on to win the world title, and what I've gone on to do in my career is, turn things around. And I think it's always been a confidence thing for me, believing it, and that's what you're seeing now. I actually do believe I'm the best in the world, and when I get in there, there's no doubt, and there's no overthinking. Just go out there and just do it. So yeah, there's a massive difference in the last time we fought to now. So yeah, it's going to be a great fight. It's going to be I feel like people that are backing Brandon because of the experience, because he's been in title fights before. This will be my first. But it's not going to make a difference. Flyweights don't get tired. 3 rounds, 5 rounds. We'll be pushing the pace all the way through. So I expect the dogfight. I expect it to be messy. But I expect me to find the targets, and I expect me to put them away. I want to make this fight look easy. So I'm looking forward to the challenge, and I'm looking forward to the best version of Brandon. Even my son agrees.
Yeah.
He thinks I'm going to put on a show, and that's what I plan on doing. So I've got all the confidence in the world, training with the best team in the world, City Kickboxing, training alongside world champions, Izzy, Alex, the top guys in their divisions. And then that just rubs off on you. When you see the hard work and you see the results and you see them going out there and just get it done, I feel like their composure is what I resonate with. Whatever is happening in the fight, they just find a way, staying calm under pressure, and coming out on top. So that's what I plan on doing.
Yeah, you mentioned composure, man. What else have you learned from watching your teammates go through these championship camps in the past?
A lot of things. Not just what they do in the gym, but the way they talk to themselves, that self-belief. When odds are stacked against you, you just don't count yourself out. And that's why they're reigning champions. They're not, swapping belts all the time. It's just that safety net you put and the tools that you have. So when things aren't going your way, even on your worst night, you're still winning, and you're still a world champion. So even on their worst days, they're still in the gym. They still turn up. And I feel like that's what I've done in this camp. I've just done everything. I haven't really taken the easy way. I haven't made any excuses. I've just done every training and done, above and beyond recovery, trying to just get ready for the next day. Just no excuses. And that's what this pandemic in the last 2 years have taught me. Whatever's happening, you can only control what you can, and just focus on that. And I don't really care who they put in front of me. Brandon, Figgy, doesn't really matter. It's a battle against yourself, and I just know that we'll find a way. That's just where I'm at. I know that whatever Brandon brings to the table, we'll have an answer for. So I look forward to the challenge, and it's going to be exciting fighting in Dallas, Texas. I love fighting in America. I'm starting to build a fan base there, and I know it's close to Brandon's home in Mexico, but I know by the end of the night, everyone will be jumping on my bandwagon and being my fans.
All right, let's rewind a little bit, to UFC 270, Moreno's last fight. He lost the title to Figueiredo. When you really dig into his performance against Figueiredo, what do you think lost him the title?
I thought he won that fight, to be honest, but it was a close fight. Man, when you've been fighting the same guy for the last 2 years, you're going to get a bit stagnant. You're going to get a bit not complacent, but you're going to be going off what happened last time. But things can change so quickly. So that's why I don't really take his last fight in consideration and where his mentality is going to be at. I know he's motivated. I know he's a hard worker, and he's going to come in ready to go. Brandon's mindset is his most powerful weapon, and I plan on, taking it to this guy. I can't let him gain momentum, because that's when he's at his best, when he feeds off that, and that's where he has his most success. So I have to shut that down straight away. Any answer he has, we'll shut it down. Any kind of progression he tries to get in the fight, we've just got to, we've really got to crack down on it. And I want to make it my fight right from the get go. I want to instate my dominance right from the start, and show that I'm not taking a back step. Even if he puts pressure on me, I'm just going to fire right back. And like I said before, turn this into a dogfight. I feel like that's the only way this fight's going to end up. Us both bloody, and who just wants it more. And he's been in a few wars now with Figgy, so that might take a toll on his body. I've been coming out of my fights pretty unscathed, not really taking too much damage. Luckily enough in my career, knock on wood, I haven't taken too much damage and too much, I guess. I haven't lost my, I guess, durability in the gym, taking and sparring too hard, or taking too much damage from all that kind of stuff. So I'm feeling fresh. I'm feeling ready to go. 1 round, 3 rounds, or 5 rounds, wherever this fight goes. I'm more than comfortable. So like I said before, it's going to be interesting to see him fight someone new, but someone he's fought before. I know he's been fighting the same guy for the last 2 years, but we know each other. I know he's been watching me. He lost money on me against Cody, which was a stupid idea anyway, but I know I've made a lot of people money back in New Zealand. And that's what it's just going to be like. I know everyone back home in Australia and New Zealand are going to be watching this, and that's who I represent. So when I go out there, I know I've got a whole country behind me, and I just feed off that. So I welcome it. I can't wait to fight in front of a crowd again, and feed off their energy. Seeing Alex and Izzy go out there and defend their titles. I didn't go to Vegas. I could have. The UFC would have looked after me. But I wanted to put my best foot forward, and I don't want to lose time, traveling and losing sleep, not getting the same quality of training. So I just stayed in the gym, and I wanted to put my best foot forward, and that's what we've done. We're not playing catch up. My weight's good. I'm peaking at the right time. I'm sharp, and we're ready to go. So I'm thankful that I did that, and here we are now, nearly about to leave and get in there and bring another world title back to City Kickboxing.
You mentioned the durability. Since you guys first fought in 2019, he has fought Figueiredo 3 times in some crazy wars, man. Like, when does that catch up? Do you think certain fighters it catches up quicker than others, or will we just see it when you take him on and you start hitting him?
Yeah, everyone's different. Everyone's I guess, body clock is gonna catch up eventually. Look at Max. He's still as durable as he's always been, even though he's been going to war with Alex for 3 5-rounders. It all depends on the person, really. But it's not something I like to bring into a fight, and that be one of my strengths. Obviously, it's great to be able to take a punch and last the fight, but it's not the smartest way of taking the fight game. And that's not what we teach at City Kickboxing. We're about being the smarter fighter, getting off your shots and not getting hit. That's the art that we do. So, I don't want to come out of the sport, with too many lost brain cells. I'm trying to become a world champion, defend, stay at the top for a few years, and leave the sport when it's my time, not when my body's telling me that it's time to hang up the gloves. So we've always kind of taken that approach at City Kickboxing. Doesn't mean that we don't put on spectacular fights. It doesn't mean that we don't go for knockouts. It just means we know the risk that we're taking. This is the fight game, and someone at the end of the day is going to get hurt. So if we can minimize that. But yeah, I'm saying all this now, but when it gets into the heat of the fight, if it gets to it, sometimes you just have to go. You have to bite down on your mouthpiece, and we're trying to be the smarter fighter, but take calculated risks. And that's when you want to win a world title, you're fighting the best guy. And I know he's put everything into this, and so have I. So we'll figure that out when we get in there, and we'll see who the better man is.
You know, outside the unwavering confidence that you have built throughout the last couple of fights, what do you think you possess now that was not there in the first Moreno fight?
Oh, everything. My whole mindset, the way I talk to myself, me being a father, husband, having more purpose, just focused. So if I'm not in the gym, I'm at home, just trying to give my time to my family, and I feel like that's been a big, not challenge, but something new to me. Just finding that balance and prioritizing what's important, and just everything's clearer. So yeah, everything revolves around what's going to get me better, what's going to make me the best version of myself. So that's what you're seeing when I'm in the cage. If it's my home life and personal life isn't, you know, working, then it's going to show in your fights. Of course it is. So yeah, that's something that's different, as well as school-wise. I'm just on another level compared to the first time we fought. We've really fixed holes since then, and just built off it, built off things that we did right, and just experience. Like I said, the last 2 years with the pandemic going on was a massive boost for me to be able to go and perform on one of the biggest stages without my head coach being there. Like in my head, I was telling myself, we've done the game plan the last 8 weeks. Since he's not here, we can still go out there and get it done. That's not going to be holding me back. So when I was able to go do that, it just showed that I can do this with my normal circumstances and my normal lead up, or without it. So now everything's back to normal. We've had training partners come in from other countries, and coaches come in and specialize in what they need to, and yeah, it's just an even playing field again. So of course we need to go back over and travel, and that's just a part of it. There's nothing new to us being on this side of the world. So yeah, everything's kind of like the camp's been long. It's been a long 10 to 8 weeks, but that just shows that we're ready to go. So yeah, everything's kind of like trim the fat now with everything. It's just straight to the point. All my punches and kicks and takedowns and takedown defense, it's all there. It's just firing, and yeah, I'm just ready to go wherever this fight needs to. I know Frank will be over in Dallas there with George. They've got a few people on this card, so it'll be good to reconnect with all of them. And then Izzy and Alex, I think, are coming over as well. So it'll be cool to have that support. My family's coming, my wife and my dad. So yeah, I'll definitely have that family. Yeah, I'll definitely be able to see them and have them alongside me for fight week. But then, yeah, well, it's all business. Me and Brandon are friends. We like each other. How can you not like someone that's a family man and collects Lego? But when we get in there, it's all business. And he wants everything that I want, and that's to be a world champion. So, man, like I've been training since I was 10 years old. So I've been in the sport for a long time. We've been talking for years now. You've seen the highs and lows of the fight game and my journey, and it's just staying consistent and keep turning up. And that's why I think a lot of people can relate to my story and where I've come from, and just staying in it. And now look at us, we're fighting for world titles. So I just never counted myself out. I never doubted myself. And now you're starting to see what you can do when you really believe in yourself and you change that mindset.
Yeah, man, it has been incredible to watch you enter the UFC and just build yourself up, and now you're fighting for the title. Entering this fight, the narrative it almost seems like it's the same as your last couple of fights, right? You're going into a so-called enemy territory. You're the underdog. Odds are stacked against you. You know what I mean? And you say that it's gonna be a dogfight. Like, do you see a dogfight that ends in the first round, or do you see a dogfight that's gonna go to a decision and someone's just gonna grit it out?
Yeah, like if we do meet in the middle, I'm gonna happily oblige and swing. If it turns into a chess match where we're staying strategic and staying behind our punches and finding our range, I can happily do that. But I know he's going to try and take me to the ground. I know he's going to try and make it, will scramble, make me scramble, and like I welcome it. I'm not going to be scared of this guy's ground game. I know he's confident in his jiu-jitsu and his wrestling, but so am I. You know, I just defeated a guy that was a national champion at wrestling, a guy that's never lost, a guy that drew to Brandon. So, yeah, there's a lot of things that have changed since that fight, and yeah, I'm welcoming any way this fight goes. If it's a 5-round dogfight, if it's a 1-round just barn burner. I know the flyweights have been putting on a show lately. You know, the last week match now, and what was his name?
Sumadarji, yeah.
Yeah, Sumadaji. They put on a war. You know, back and forth fight where it could have gone either way. So I love seeing that. I love seeing other flyweights just go to war and represent this division. And you know, we're the most exciting division in the sport because it's not just about power in our weight class. It's about strategy. It's about technique. It's about heart. It's about grit. It's about who wants it more. And yeah, it's just going to be high level martial arts.
Has the UFC stated to you guys that the winner is going to fight Figueiredo to unify the belts?
No, they haven't. They haven't yet, but I'm sure that's in the pipelines. So I'm just looking at it one fight at a time. I'm not too focused on, you know, Figueiredo. I know eventually we will meet and we will square off. And I'd love to do it in New Zealand or Australia. I'd love to bring a show back to this side of the world and for it to be the unifying of the belt. But I got a big task in front of me, Brandon Moreno for the interim world title. So I'm just focused on that at the moment. But yeah, I see myself fighting both of these guys. I see myself being this flyweight world champion for a while. And yeah, it's an exciting time. And you're just seeing what happens when you really believe it. And that's what you're seeing in the cage.
So you feel like Figueiredo will be sticking around at flyweight because he's been talking about moving up to 135 and fighting those guys.
Yeah, I feel like he will. He wants a challenge and he wants me to win. I know he's been saying that in interviews. He feels like Kai's going to knock Brandon out. And yeah, he's going to be there apparently as well. So after I win, after I get the job done against Brandon, then we can talk. Then we can see what's next and see where this next fight will be. If he does want to stick around, yeah, it's going to be an even bigger fight. You know, more stakes on the line, more belts on the line, and I know he wants to see someone new rather than just Brandon.
Yeah, for sure. And where do you think Alexandre Pantoja fits in the title picture, man? Because it seems like he's been hanging around the top 5 forever, just hasn't fought for the belt yet.
Yeah, I know he's been overlooked, but that's what happens when you get injured. You can't just expect to get a title fight. You know, I didn't go out there. I didn't sit around and just wait after fighting Cody. You know, you're thinking after you beat a world champion, you'd get the next shot. It doesn't work like that. And I wasn't going to take a chance by just sitting around and waiting for other people to fight and then me get a title. It doesn't work like that. So I went out there, I proved it, and I showed them why I'm the next guy. Beating a guy that's never lost before, went to a draw with Brandon, and he's been beating all the top guys in the UFC. You know, he did that, Alexandre Pantoja. So I showed why I'm the next guy, and that's what happens in the sport. If you sit back and wait too long, you're going to miss your opportunity. And now that I'm a week out from fighting for a world title, and he's going to be on the card, so I know that I'll be watching that fight, and I'll be seeing who wins against him and Perez. But yeah, I don't feel like they're going to get the next title shot. I think it's going to be against me and the winner out of Brandon fighting Figueiredo, and then potentially the next fight for the winner out of that fight will be the next contender. So they've got a bit of time to wait.
Henry Cejudo, man, he's gonna come back, and looks like he's gonna come back at bantamweight. But you know, flyweight doesn't look too bad either, right? Like, would you rather see him come back at flyweight so you could fight him, or do you think bantamweight is probably the best for him?
This guy ain't making flyweight anytime soon. He's massive at the moment. He's massive, and he's a dad, and he just talks to stay relevant. That's the thing about him. Like he's at every fight. He's not in the gym training. Yeah, he's coaching, but he's not training himself. I just feel like he just does it to stay relevant. So I don't really take too much notice of it. It's just noise to me. Until I see him actually book a fight and then commit to it, then I'll take it seriously. So, you know, it's one thing I would love to do. Fight a guy that was my coach on The Ultimate Fighter, and when I'm the champion, welcome him back. You know, this is a great storyline, and it's someone that I'd love to fight. You know, I'd love to compete against Henry Cejudo. he's done well for himself. But the thing about this sport, you got to stay in it, and if you retire, you get left behind. You can't come back. Look what happens to guys that leave the sport and then a few years later say, "Oh no, I'm still in it. I still want to do this." You see them kind of the evolution of the sport's happening so quickly that whatever got them to the top's not going to work anymore. So maybe we should just stick to coaching. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I've got nothing bad to say about him. I just know the way he thinks and his coaches, and they're saying, "Oh, if you want to fight Figueroa, you're going to have to bring Izzy in the corner." So when we beat you, we beat Izzy. It was pretty funny that they're still holding on to that win against Paulo Costa and how Izzy, I guess, ended it and what he did after, and now they want to get one back by Figueroa beating me and Izzy being in the corner. It just shows that we don't even care. We've moved on. Like, we've fought so many more times since that fight that we're too focused on winning than fights that we're holding grudges on.
Well, man, July 30th, man, UFC 277, Dallas, Texas. Kai, I knew we were going to get to this point. I just didn't know when, but it's happening, man. Appreciate you always giving me the time, and all the best, man, in Dallas.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.